Self-described shy, quiet kid. But just like dabbling in lesbianism, it was just a phase.
Wow. Wow.
The Oscar-winning actor and comedian is currently starring on Broadway in Bengal Tiger at the Baghdad Zoo, which I saw, and it's great. You should go see it. And he's here with me now. Robin Williams. Applause, applause. Okay. So, I came to see you in the play.
Dabbling in lesbianism. I mean, what are you, Sisters of Sappho, unite now. Dabbling in lesbianism.
Well,
are you a cunning linguist? Call this number.
You know, a lot of women do just, I don't know,
dabble.
They dabble.
And a lot of men do, too, but they go, hey, I didn't perform a homosexual act. No, Elton John, homosexual act. You just blew that guy. It's okay. Yeah, I'm dabbling. Yeah, you're dabbling. Dabbling where? I don't want to know. What...
There's another thing that's going on. A bunch of lesbian mothers, they're really married to men in the suburbs, cheating on their husbands with women and then going back. It's like the opposite of what men do.
Well, welcome. Fair play.
I know.
Mary, where were you? Guess what? We both like vagina.
It couldn't get them together in a way.
Yeah, in a weird way. That could bring them together, going, where were you?
Now, tell everybody how I got you on the show, because you're a big coup. Or as one time...
Oh, I'm glad you...
One time, I have to tell you this, Merv Griffin was introducing Ava Gabor, and he said, one of the biggest coups in the neighborhood.
And a warm hand on her opening, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of them. That's great.
It's a great story.
That was like Queen Victoria. She wrote a book called Balls I Have Held. Talking about great parties that she...
Really?
Oh, no, I held a lovely ball the other day, and it was Albert. Oh, stop. You got me to come on the show because they had a thing after Bengal Tiger doing it for Broadway Cares.
Right.
And you were bidding for coming up on stage to take a picture with the crew, with all of us on the cast. Right. And you paid $600. I went, for that, I'll do your show.
I basically bribed you.
Yeah, it's...
But for a charity.
For a charity.
Yeah, but I really appreciate you coming, because you don't do a lot of TV.
No.
You're a big movie star.
Oh, thank you.
You are. We were just going over some of your movies, and you've done incredible movies, Robin.
Yeah, there have been some interesting ones.
What was your fave?
I think Dead Poets was probably my favorite. Just to get started at the idea of doing a movie that people treated as more than a movie. I once met a guy who said, I gave up my job at Sears and became a teacher because of you. And I went, I hope things are going well.
I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, then Awakenings and Fisher King, and then the animation Aladdin is always fun because it was so much fun to do.
And Popeye was...
Popeye was great. I mean, it was just weird. We got to the end of the movie, and they ran out of money. They pulled the plug, and all the special effects people left. And it was a bit like Ed Wood. You know, Shelley Duvall is in the water with the octopus with nobody to run the octopus, and she's going, ow, help! And the octopus tentacles are doing, help! And I'm joking with Robert Evans, and he's a little bit coked up at the time, going, how do we end the movie? How do we end the movie? And I'm going, well, I could walk on the water like Jesus. And he went, yeah, great idea. And we ended up doing it in the movie. It was like, yeah, let's do that. That'd be great. And get him off me! I never did any blow. I did a little toot, but never any blow.
But what about Awakenings, that movie about dead people? No, they were not dead. They were not dead. What was it?
That's called Get Up.
They were like catatonic.
Yes, well, they would suffer from a disease called encephalitis lethargica, which was like a flu that swept through Europe and America afterwards, and it rendered people, and they thought they were catatonic. They thought they weren't conscious, but the truth is it had attacked the lower functions, but they were actually aware, but almost like a dream state.
Oh.
Billy Connolly said they should have called the movie Get Up, Wake Up, You! And the weird thing is a lot of them went under when they were like 16, and then Oliver brought them back out with this drug called L-dopamine.
Yes.
When they were like in their 80s, but a lot of them thought they woke up when they were 16 and thought they were 16-year-old boys again and immediately started, hey, how are you? That scene wasn't in the movie.
I don't know if we can pixelate that.
Yeah, what's he doing now?
You know, since you
That's not mine, Mr. Wiener. That's not mine.
I was just thinking of him, too. Isn't that funny? I free associated right to him.
Right. It's easy to do. Even Freud's going, take anything off the top shelf.
You know what he did, right?
Oh, yeah. Supposedly he said someone hacked his Twitter account, and they got a picture of him in tidy whities, but he's going, I don't know if... He's basically saying, how was it really well endowed? No, it's not mine.
Well, you know, Whoopi today was talking about it, and she was saying that you could Photoshop anything. He could have been in trousers, and they just put him in that. Do you think that could have happened?
Photoshopped?
Yeah,
Photoshopped? Then why not put a smiley face on it? But look, it's little rumpled foreskin. What are you doing?
No, but they basically could have done that. They could have, you know...
Oh, they could have done 100 different things. They could have, actually had in anything, or made it, slightly, two of them, which would be like, wow.
But the thing about him is that he was tweeting all these young girls. Maybe that's a mistake.
Just a touch.
I mean, you are a congressman.
There's nothing that goes unnoticed in this age. You know,
Yeah.
you are a congressman, and the idea of like, don't do that. I only tweeted once. I tweeted, I'm on the road, and I went, that's it, I'm done.
That's it.
Yeah, because the next tweet is, I know I'm right behind you. You know, Twitter leads to stalker.
Exactly.
I mean, but there's people who are masters of tweets, like Steve Martin, Albert Brooks, Gary
Yes.
Shandling. They know, and it's a great short-form comedy.
Yes, that's true.
But you can't imagine Shakespeare tweeting, to be or not to be, smiley face.
No,
it's
no.
like-
But, you know, speaking of that, I mean, I took a picture with you one time that if that got out, look at this picture.
What is the picture?
Look at that. Can you see it? Look at it.
Wow.
That's us on the left.
Yes.
And I forgot that I did that. I molested you at Comic Relief.
That's why I'm here.
So it wasn't just Broadway
And that was
cares.
your hand, right?
Yes, it was.
Hey, Manuel, are we having a good day?
Let's do this again. Are we going to tweet?
Well, I only have one hand left.
Maybe not.
Okay, so
That was why a lot of typing in the early days online, you know, on the porn sites was so bad because people could only use one hand.
I know that's true. Okay,
What are you doing?
Let's watch a little piece of your stand-up.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And you Twitter or tweeting. It's not the root word, it's not twit, it's tweet. Okay, cool. Is it rude to Twitter during sex to go OMG, OMG, WTF, ZZZ? Is that rude? And is there something called clittering where you play with a little button on your BlackBerry? What are you doing? I'm clittering.
So you don't tweet anymore.
No, I mean, I think there should be a thing of either like a little application on your phone that if you try and take a picture of your genitals, like, you know, a little cock blocker app, that the phone goes, no. Or like a moral GPS. They should have a moral GPS, like a moral compass.
Yeah,
A
that's
moral GPS that will go, up ahead, a girl the same age as your daughter. Reroute.
Very good.
Yes.
Now
Moving away now. Do not talk to her. Warning, warning.
That would be good. You
Yeah,
need
moral
that.
GPS. It'd be like something that just goes, do not do that now. This will make the headlines bad for you.
Now, what do you think about Sarah Palin and Donald Trump had a pizza dinner the other night?
That's a Democratic wet dream. That's
is.
That's like, do it, go for it. My lawyer had a great line about Donald Trump. He said he was a guy who woke up on third and thought he hit a triple.
They said that about George Bush too.
Yeah, that's that whole thing. I
Your
mean, with
lawyer
her-
didn't make that up, Robin.
No, I mean, it's like, oh no, it's like it was a line that was out there about everybody.
okay.
And it was like that with her when she wrote a book. I went looking for it and I couldn't find it. I looked in fantasy, I looked in fiction. Wasn't there. But it's pretty much the
But
two
you know,
of them.
here's the thing about her. She's, because she went into New York City and she was wearing a Jewish star. Look at this. This is a picture of her with a Jewish star on. Pandering.
That's one of the signs of the apocalypse.
But you know what? If you want to be Jewish in New York, you have to do this outfit. See that? The Hasidic picture. There it is.
It's like, it's a new version of Yentl called Rental. She has payas envy. So sad.
And how about this one? And she wants to go to Muslim community. She should go with the
This
chador.
cartoon, they come that way?
Yeah.
Burqa Girls Gone Wild? Where are you going to the Gaza Strip Club? What are you doing?
And then we have, if she goes to the Jersey Shore.
This is there. Sneaky. That's another character. What's in there? Hey, look, it's Sneaky! I can't believe she came here. Where hi? More proof. More proof.
Did you see what happened to Snooki? She was in Florence and she banged into a police car and they had to take her in.
She banged into
Yes, and the cops are in the hospital. She's a menace.
What, the hair hurt them?
She's a menace.
The guy, they go, what? Che faccia tu, Rebecca Linda, lei? Faccia brutta, dai vegaro. She broke the window on the car. The hair went into the car, broke the window. Look, it's the soundtrack from The Wizard of Oz. What is she? Who's in the hospital? The cops?
The cops were in the hospital.
She
from
ran
her.
into a cop car?
Yes. They were actually escorting her, and they ran into their car.
She ran into
Yeah,
their car?
Yes. She's a piece of work.
That's what.
Now,
She deployed the airbags already. Good night. Thank you.
now, another thing that's happening is, I don't know if you know about this, Glenn Beck is going off the Fox. Did you know that?
No.
Yes, he's gone. Do you like him? Do you ever watch him?
I never saw him. I just saw that there used to be this guy, Reverend Gene Scott, which used to do wild stuff. But he would just sit there with a little, special coffee cup and I'm going to do this again. I'm going to diagram the Bible, basically as if the Bible were written by people on mushrooms. And he would go, I'm going to read this passage of the Bible again and again until I get $20,000.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, but when I watched Glenn Beck, he would just go off on things. You know, you wanted to have that face in the crowd moment, which I guess he finally had, where he finally just went sneak and said stuff that people went, okay, that's a little too crazy
I
for
mean,
us.
even Roger Ailes said it was too much. And
Yeah,
that
but at that
saying
point, they're
something.
going, you know, phew, even old Germans are going, you must relax.
Okay, we have a lot more to talk about,
It's
so
the time
stick
for us
around.
to play now.
Robert is staying for 2 more segments.
2 more segments!
Yeah.
What did she do?